A pleasant welcome to Dublin 4. Here today in the south of Dublin, UCD will kick off their season for week number 2 of their season against the Belfast Knights. Hello again, everybody. I'm Max Wolpoff. Thank you for joining us on your Sunday. Good morning to you if you're watching us from the United States. Good afternoon if you're watching us from Europe. And good evening if you're watching us from Asia. UCD comes into today's game already at 1-0 on the season after a 40-0 victory over the Dublin Rebels. UCD gained 376 yards of offense and held the Rebels to just 69 total yards, 61 through the air, and 8 rushing, most of those rushing yards coming via sacks for negative plays. Will Ehrlich made 2 sacks on the play, and Alex Brady, Dan Vershoe, and Eddie Goggins Jr. each tied for the team lead in tackles with 3. On offense, 6 receivers caught passes, with Tom Donovan leading the pack with 6 catches for 94 yards. Stu Wiley caught all 5 of his passes thrown his way and caught 2 touchdowns. Tom McEniff led rushers with 67 yards on 10 attempts. Sebastian Meidel, the center who won the starting job, had a single bad snap, and it was the opening one of the game. And it looks as if finally have the results of the coin toss. UCD will be attacking the southeast end zone, and the Belfast Knights will be attacking the northwest end zone. We thank you for joining us wherever you are here in the world. I see your comment, William. We will be getting to lineups momentarily. I do have better graphics this week. Hopefully they work well for everybody. Belfast brings a much larger roster to today's game than Dublin Rebels did. Belfast today is coached by Adam Devaney and the head coach, equipment manager Brian Ewing. Their assistants are Brian McCullough, Gavin Taylor, Mark Kelly, John McChrystal, and Simon Devaney. For UCD, their coaches today, head coach Dara Farrell, special teams coach Tom Telford, offensive coordinator Mark Wallace, and quarterbacks coach Eddie Goggins Sr. So it looks to be UCD will receive the ball to start today's game. And you'll see this prolific, UCD offense starting off today's contest, it looks like. You'll have to apologize about the noise. There is another rugby match you might be able to see on the visitors' bench side. Drop a comment in the chat. Let me know where you're tuning in from today. It is a gorgeous and balmy mid-50s Fahrenheit day in Dublin 4 for this matchup from UCD Astro Field.
All the way back.
And it will be UCD on kickoff duties to start. So the Knights will open with the ball. Scott Ehrlich joining us from California. I see James chiming in from London. You may have to be more specific. There's a lot of Londons. I know the main one is London, England, but I don't know if your London is the London, England.
Let's go, Will!
Fuerteventura, I must say, I don't know where Fuerteventura is, but Will Lambert is back for the opening kickoff. You'll have to apologize. I'll have to apologize for this camera frequently. It is an artificial intelligence camera, so we may not see Will Lambert give a swing of his right boot to start off today's contest. Knights back to receive, and it is too deep for a return. Let's have some fun today on this Sunday afternoon in Dublin. Let's meet today's UCD starting defense. Alex Brady, Alton Conroy, Craig Carville, Paul Sweeney, Patty Sweeney, Stephen Alenka, Harry Watchorn, Eddie Goggins Jr., Larry Doyle will captain the defense, Alex Kusumerik, in the line, Michael Harvey, and Dan Verjou have us starting here for today's contest. For the Knights, they are quarterbacked by Liam Moores. As it looks to be the first formation today for the Knights. They line up with a setback and a tight end into block. Moores throws it over, gets a short completion, gaining about 5 yards following the touchback. So Moores already picking apart this UCD zone defense. Moores, this is his second year. He's from London in the United Kingdom. Also played baseball and rugby. He is a fourth-year medical student at Queen's University, Belfast. He sets up here for this second down action. 3 receivers set here. 2 in the backfield with Moores on the shotgun snap. UCD sends 4 on the pressure. Ball's coming out deep and will be dropped. It looks like Camera did not pick up the ball, but judging by the reaction, it is an incomplete pass for a short third down. Judas Freeman's joining us from Orcas Island, Washington State. UCD does have quite a few Washington State residents on their team, 4 to be specific, which is the most of any single state in the United States of the 11 Americans I have bios for. So the Knights set up for their third down. Two receivers left side, one wide out to the right. They have an H-back in the backfield alongside the running back. Moores will take the snap with 4 rush. Here comes the blitz from his left side. He's trying a screen pass. They have some blockers, and eventually Vershu and others get there. Ball comes out, and the referees look like they're going to rule that it was a player down. Hello, Marianne. Great to see you. As the Knights moving down the field, their first down of the game. 1st and 10 from looks to be the 36. For people who are used to watching Division I or American football from the United States in a 100-yard field, because UCD plays on a rugby field, they have to truncate the field in order for everything to fit. So the 45-yard line is midfield. Moores run through the teeth of the defense, and eventually he's met around where the linebackers are, and a wonderful stop on the play. Eddie Goggins Jr. on the tackle to hold him up. Brings up 2nd down. We thank you for joining us wherever you're watching in the world. We're just getting started here in the first quarter. This is Belfast's first drive of the day. They already have 1 first down. Belfast received the opening kickoff, which means UCD will receive the kickoff to start the second half. Two receivers left, a high snap. They sweep it all the way out to the offensive left side, and he looks behind the play on a huge opportunity for UCD here. 3rd down coming. And in Belfast's offensive territory. Belfast, yet another huddle-up offense. UCD likes to go no huddle, so this is definitely a change of pace for the defense compared to what they're used to practicing. Got Boston, Massachusetts chiming in. We don't have Massachusetts. We do have Connecticut on the roster. That's Sean O'Brien. Out comes out, and that's a nice play in speed on 3rd down. Balin are the running backs for the Knights. Balin was the one in the backfield who stayed back in blitz coverage. And it looks to be a punt formation set up here for the Belfast Knights. So UCD gives up the first down of the day, but the Knights stop right around midfield. Brandon Atwell and Sean Douglas split the duties. This is a low snap to the right. The kicker gets it away. See if the camera follows the play enough, and they call fire, which means get away from the play. So it looks to be an offensive setup deep in UCD's territory, but they hold the Knights off the board to start with this scoreless game. We again thank you all for joining us wherever you are. The O'Briens are watching from Woodbridge, Connecticut. Thank you so much for joining us today. I know it's early, as I believe the U.S. and Canada started daylight savings time sometime early this morning. Hi, Dad. Good to see you. Hi, Uncle Mike. Good to see you. New Paltz, New York, a place I have not been in New York. As Aaron Mooney leads the UCD offense out onto the field for their first drive deep in their own territory to start us off. Mooney will take the snap from Idle, and it's a handoff to get some yards. Good blocking up ahead. And nice yards making up ahead. Jonathan Headley, the one on the tackle. Let's meet today's UCD starting offense as the camera goes out momentarily. Vidal will be giving the snaps to Mooney, with McKenniff starting at running back. Stenson, Wiley, Donovan, and Douglas are your receivers, as Alenka, Connolly, Mauer, and Cherpiche finish off the offensive line. Second down coming here for UCD. This is their first drive of the game. Mooney lines up with two receivers each side and a running back plus him in the backfield. And they'll hand it off again to McKenna. And this time Mooney kept it, fooled the camera, fooled the defense. And it looks to be that they're able to get a first down as the play stops. One of the troubles of this AI camera that we use is that it follows the ball and player movement. So because there's a rugby match going on behind the Knights bench, we might get the camera pulled toward that side more frequently today. We were fortunate with the previous game here at UCD Astro Field where there was no matchup over there for the duration of the contest. So the camera was supposed to be able to focus on us the entire time. And officials look to be like they're discussing a penalty, but I must say I can't exactly see what is the conversation about, and I may not have been able to see the precise play. UCD coaches definitely disagree with the penalty, but it's pushing UCD backward. So a second down, I believe, coming up here from around the 11-yard line. If you've got questions, I'll get to them throughout the course of the game, so please drop your questions in the chat. I've got thoughts about a lot of things. And a low snap picked up, and McKenna is swallowed in the backfield, unable to get anywhere. Sets up a lengthy third down coming here for UCD. Snap was low toward Mooney's knees, and they were unable to make a pickup for any offensive play. So it's a long third down coming here. We'll go with, I think, three receivers set up to the right. Mooney is going to drop back, throw, hot ball over the middle. It's a good catch. Looks like Lewis Stenson, the left side X receiver, making the catch and setting up a UCD first down. It is a mid-50s beautiful day, light breeze, if any, here from Dublin 4. Good to see you, Durthang. Happy you decided to join us. Hope you recover soon. Mooney sets up, handoff to McKenna, and Mooney opted to keep it. He's got blockers ahead of him, and a medium gain sets up second down. Second down coming from the 29-yard line. UCD was stalled out in the first series on this drive. How many Americans are starting? Ooh. Get out swing pass. This is the Douglas along the side. They got some room. Into the clear. The 10, the 5. Touchdown, UCD. Incredible swing pass for 6. UCD will line up to go for 2 after the long touchdown reception on the screenplay. Aaron Mooney is still perfect in engineering drives that end up in touchdowns. At least full-length drives, that is. You may have heard the call from UCD's coaches for tractor. This is their preferred formation for short yardage and two-point conversions. They don't always use it, but they used it to great effect in the last game against Dublin Rebels. The snap normally comes here to Tom Donovan. He drops in. He's running out of room. He's trying to do that video game thing where he runs around to the other side, and a flag on the tackle. Looks like a flag on the tackle. This UCD might be getting bailed out here. If the person who receives the ball escapes the pocket and then is dragged down from the back plate, that's a horse collar tackle, and it's not allowed. As the referee is explaining that to number 91. So, as luck would have it for UCD, they get to try the 2-point conversion over again. That was Robert Alexander with the discussion with the referee after that horse collar tackle. So UCD is going to get to try this one more time. From the 1.5-yard line, they set up with the snap, got a great block on the outside, and this time they punch it in for 2. And it's an 8-point lead for UCD. And, there's another flag. As the referees are discussing. And it looks as if the foul won't matter for scoring purposes. So, because if this was on UCD, Belfast, just guessing, would likely accept it and force UCD to try again. But given the fact that everybody seems to be moving toward the next play,
He didn't want any of it, but he got it all.
Happy you're tuning in while you're driving. So I understand not everybody tunes in and pays attention to the entirety of what's being watched. So this is the benefit of being trained on radio, because I'm used to having to discuss what's going on. Hello to the Schultz family, Topeka, Kansas. First time we've seen Kansas come in on this broadcast.
Yeah, no. What I'm saying.
Interesting. They call it unsportsmanlike on Brandon Atwell for a celebration after the play. So the play counts. 2 points are on the board for UCD to make it 8-0. UCD will be kicking off 15 yards behind the normal line.
Open, Craig, Patty, Quentin. He knows.
If my math is correct, Mr. Campbell, there are, I believe, 5 starting Americans, 3 of which are on defense, 2 are on offense, and there is 1 starting on special teams, Will Ehrlich, the long snapper, but we haven't seen him yet because UCD has not had the punt. That's if my math is correct. I don't have bios for everybody from UCD, no matter how many times I ask. So Lambert will give a drill of this right leg, swing kick, and it is fielded by Belfast to get out toward the 30 and stopping the play right at the 35 as Michael Harvey, the one to bring him down.
Olenki, Hugh, Charlie, Cam, next D-line. Olenki, Hugh, Charlie, Cam. Not right now, no. I got Quinlan in right now. Good pick, Will.
So on UCD's roster, there are 14 counties represented from the island of Ireland, making up for 50 players on the roster. The most are from County Dublin, as you might expect. As Liam Moores lines up to receive the snap once more. 2 in the backfield joining him. Pop-up snap, and this is a pitch play inside to the lineman. Spencer McDowell lining up in number 90 today. He's a linebacker normally, but linebackers can block too. And this time he receives a pass to set up a good gain. Looks to be 2nd and short as they have to get to that 45 for the first down.
Don't jump. Watch the ball.
Warning from the coaches on the sideline, don't jump. Belfast might be looking for a free first down on the 5 yards. Moores once again sets up. You got a blitz on. Moores up back, throws it out underneath with coverage and setting up a good first down. Catch made by Marty Caskey, number 88 for the Dublin against the Dublin coverage. Belfast has another first down beyond midfield. Their first action on UCD's half today. Thank you to the Connollys tuning in from Arlington, Virginia. I'm from not that far from there. I'm from Potomac, Maryland. So quick drive across the river, and I'd be right there. UCD going with their traditional 4-down linemen on the snap, 2 linebackers to make 6 in the box, and then 5 back in coverage for a traditional nickel formation. As it looks like a free play for the Knights, someone jumped offside. Morris throws it, looking for an all, and he cannot get there. Pass goes well beyond the receiver toward the goal line. So this will be looks to be a free 5. This will be a free 5 yards for Belfast. We're trying to get a jump on number 77, Matthew Moody. Oh, interesting. So Belfast was in an illegal formation. They didn't say a number of who was not in formation. If you're new to American football, you are only allowed to have a certain number of players on the line of scrimmage, which is denoted by where the ball is. Otherwise, the players have to line up behind the line or by at least 1 yard. If that number of players is not satisfied, it is considered to be an illegal formation. The offense is allowed to run the play, but they are not allowed to get the results of the play. However, because UCD jumped offside, it is merely a replay of the down. So first down here from beyond, and looks like a false start here as they stop play. Somebody on the offensive line jumped a bit early. Got a viewer from Hong Kong. Good evening to you. First down still, but this delay of game pushes Belfast back toward midfield. Again, drop a comment in the chat. Let us know where you're watching from today. We've already got viewers from the 3 major time zone areas that I discussed. We have a few viewers from Europe, I'm sure. We have plenty of viewers from the United States. One tuning in from Hong Kong. So Moore's back in the backfield. And again, left side of the formation here. Left side of the offensive line does seem to be awfully far back. And yeah, that's an illegal formation on this inside run. Curious decision here from the UCD coaching staff. What do they do? It was a good stop for no gain. And it looks like UCD might decline the penalty and take the down. It's not a great thing when I, as the broadcaster who is not broadcasting from the field, can still spot, and UCD is going to push them back. They take the penalty instead of the down. So now it's 1st and 20 coming up here. Sounding more like backyard football from my childhood. That's a reference to a computer game, if anybody doesn't know. Chicago, Illinois chiming in. Glad you've joined us today, the O'Connells. And now it's offside on UCD, a free play opportunity here for Belfast. They look to go for it all down the sideline, and no catch penalty. It's incomplete. This is probably the longest first down we're going to have all day. I believe this is the 4th time Belfast will reset their first down. So now it's 1st and 15 again. And I think the coaching staff is seeing the writing over here, trying to get a new defensive line in. Number 99 is Patty Sweeney coming in off the bench on this rotation. UCD does like to rotate their defensive line heavily, typically every 3-4 plays. It has been a stalling drive, and Belfast is going to take their first timeout. First of 3 allowed timeouts here in this first half. This is a slow start to this game. That's Daniel Greer chiming in. Glad to see you tuned in today, Daniel. If those who don't know, Daniel Greer is a player on UCD's team, unable to play today. We're glad he's decided to join us on this broadcast anyway. He had a star-making performance on special teams in the first game, including several big tackles and a near blocked punt. I say near because he came within, what, about 2 hand lengths of that ball? Comment from the Atwells tuning in. Glad to see the family tuning in from Virginia, as well as people watching at the game. And here, this is a first timeout. First timeout for the Belfast Knights of their 3 allowed in this half. UCD scored on their first drive on a long touchdown pass to Tom Donovan on a swing route. It is still going to be first down here from midfield, about 1st and 15 on this setup here. So we'll see what Liam Moores is going to do this time. Most of Belfast's roster that I have notes for, of the guys that filled out the bio, are from the Belfast area. Pass play coming, over the middle, complete. And now it's finally going to be second down. That first down felt like it was forever. So it's a short second down coming here. UCD waiting on Belfast to get into formation. For whatever reason, Belfast huddled up 15 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Most offenses settle for between 5 and 10. 2 receivers right, 1 wide to the left with 2 backs in the backfield. Moores will drop back, got good protection, throws it into double coverage. And did he catch it? Yes, he did. First down. Catch made, did not have the ball hit the ground. And so yet another, and we got a flag in the backfield on this play. So it's a holding on the offense. And now the second down is going to take forever. UCD got themselves bailed out here on this penalty, a 10-yarder from the original line. As actually, I think UCD may have taken the down, so it's going to be third down here. I believe this is third down for UCD. I can't see the down marker on the UCD bench side. A lot of flags here in this drive. Moores back to pass, rush up the middle is good. They take a long ball here, and it's going way out of reach for Caskey, incomplete. In fairness to Earthang 1000, these are penalties they're calling. It's not like they're making this up. It's not a great thing when I can spot the illegal formation penalty, because that's one of those penalties where it's really difficult for me to judge unless the play is straight down my line of sight. 4 down linemen coming in against 5 protectors, 2 receivers to the right, and they send out 2 receivers to the left. Belfast has a running back in the backfield against UCD's nickel formation. Moore's got the ball, going to throw it over them, throw it looking for somebody. The camera went away from the play, but judging from UCD's reaction, I'm assuming it is now 4th down coming here Indeed, punt coming up here for the Belfast Knights. So a drive that had some promise ends up being for nothing. And considering Belfast lost yards, it was a sack that the camera missed. So from about midfield, this is about where Belfast punted the previous time.
As soon as that ball lifts, you can go!
7 on the line, three midway through, and the punter behind it. Here comes the snap. He got a penalty in the at the line as Douglas is there to receive it. He catches it on 2 bounces and gets a couple of yards. We'll see what the penalty is here, because is it against UCD on the rush? Belfast might accept this penalty and take another punt. If this is against the Knights, UCD has an interesting choice to make. And considering they are walking the ball back toward where Belfast was, this is against UCD. Oh, or not. I'm trusting the coaches when they say offense, let's go. That means the penalty was against Belfast. So far, 2 for 2 on the day is UCD's defense when it comes to forcing the punt. Let's see if the offense can keep up its streak with Mooney at play. All right, I may have spoken too soon. The person who picked up the ball to spot it was just walking it back toward the Belfast players, because each team plays with their own set of footballs that they take to the game. So UCD will set up from the 21. Yep, from the 21-yard line.
Pretty cool.
Mooney set 2 receivers with him in the backfield, 2 to his left, 1 to his right. On the run, good blocking, gets around the defender, has 1 more to beat and gets it there. Thomas Wilson brought him down. Great run on a first down. And a first down at beyond midfield. Donovan on the good run. UCD stresses it's an 11-man unit as they bring a tight end to the right side of the formation, 2 receivers left side and 2 in the backfield. Mooney will hand it off, and he's met at the line of scrimmage and driven down on a short gain. That was Alexander on the stop, as Atwell could not break through for more than 2 yards. UCD sets up for their first play from Belfast's territory. On the last drive, they just had a long touchdown pass to Tom Donovan. Three receivers left, 2 in the backfield. Pitch play, goes left. Atwell cannot get beyond the tackle. Number 8, Patrick Gordon, bringing him down in the backfield for 3rd down. 3rd down and beyond 10. UCD leads by a full 1 possession, 8-0. UCD going no huddle, looking into their coach Mark Lawler, the backup quarterbacks, signals on the sideline. Donovan and Atwell are in the backfield with Mooney. 2 receivers left, 1 wide to the right is Douglas. Wiley motions to the right. And it looks like a timeout. UCD might be calling a timeout. Never mind, end of the quarter. UCD did not have to run the play. So now the second quarter of action will begin. If anybody's got questions for me, now's the time to ask them. You can ask me about the game. You can ask me about life here in Ireland. You can ask me about UCD as a place. Got plenty of time. You can even ask me about my thoughts on Elimination Chamber from last Saturday, because I have thoughts.
I know. I'm gonna tell Mark.
Good thing the teams don't have to go very far. Play will start here from UCD's defensive half of the field as they now attack the northwest end zone, heading toward County Meath. Mid-50s Fahrenheit and sunny. It is a beautiful day for American football in Dublin. UCD coming in today in their light sky blues, where Belfast joins in their dark uniforms with yellow helmets and yellow letters. Durthang, Phantom of the Opera, all day. Listen, if I wanted to hear people be miserable in France, I'd go to France. That comes from experience, having been to France. Mooney takes the snap, looking like he's setting up a long pass play, and it's intercepted. Interception on the play by the linebacker. UCD, first turnover of the game, goes the way of the Belfast Knights. Looks like number 47, Blaine Early, on the interception. UCD's defense will return to action. First turnover of the season for UCD comes on an interception. The young Londoner Liam Moores waits for his opportunity. Mr. Chainsaw, I'll get to your question after this play. Moore sets up with two receivers to the left side, one receiver wide to the right, and two in the backfield with him. Shotgun snap, blitz shown off the corner. UCD drops back into coverage. Line setting up a screen. They get the pass to him, but they can't get many yards. Second down coming for the Knights. Mr. Chainsaw, I actually don't think there's any truth to that rumor. I firmly believe that John Cena's heel turn is one of those better, if not now, when type of heel turns. In no small part because, again, this is my long-winded explanation. WWE definitely remembers that they didn't book Hogan and Flair in the 1980s and 90s when they were in the same company. And it was one of those if not now when type of matches that they never got around to doing. And that institutional memory absolutely stuck with the people who made the decision. Moore sending his shot all the way out to the right. He makes a catch, but not going to get a first down on that play. Catch made by Kenny McLean. Sets up a third down as Moore's hunched over after the play. Doyle, among others, in on the stop. And besides Mr. Chainsaw, Cody Rhodes has already been a heel when he was dashing Cody Rhodes, among other of his personas. So the universe has kind of already seen heel Cody. Heel Cena is new. And I think this is something that people can sell WrestleMania 41 on. I mean, I was going to watch anyway. However, now I'm a lot more intrigued by the main event picture. Milk Tray 08, yeah, a lot of the observers of AFI this season have pegged the Knights as the best team to challenge UCD this year, in no small part because of the good recruiting drive they put in to get a lot of young players and a quarterback with really good experience. Moores has been on this team now. This is his third season. As Marty Caskey, a captain of this Knights team, having to be walked off the field. Caskey walking off under his own power. This sets up third down, I believe, for the Knights.
not getting this. You're not getting this, Belfast.
Formation is 2 receivers each side with a running back off to the quarterback's right. Snap will come from the 38-yard line of UCD. Moores takes a snap. Heavy rush coming up the middle. They fake the handoff. Moores will throw it away. He never got it back to the line of scrimmage. And after the whistle flags, people are congregating here along UCD's bench. Camera is not following the action. Curious to see what the end result is here. That pass was definitely within the tackle box, and it did not get beyond the line of scrimmage. So that should be an intentional grounding call. However, there are also whistles and flags given the blocking and the receiver on that near side of the sideline. So as head coach Dara Farrell and UCD's coaching staff are trying to lobby their case before the officials tell them to get back. That was a first down play on a new 1st and 10. As Belfast is going to take this opportunity to head toward the bench and chat with their coaching staff. I wonder what Adam Devaney and company have planned for this next play. Watching from the Cayman Islands. What in the world are you doing watching us? Go to the beach and enjoy the Cayman Islands. A kid, Eddie Muir, thank you so much for joining us today. His son, Chris, number 21, is a defensive back for the Knights. And this is a lengthy conversation between the referees for today's game. As there's a nice try on the other side for, I believe, UCD. There were 3 penalty flags thrown. I'm not 100% sure if that's 3 penalties or if that's 2 referees spotting the same thing. As Belfast's offensive line is walking backward, which in many instances indicates that the offense is losing yards on the play.
Three flags on the three penalties on the play. We've got holding, number 26. That's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the boundary. Close to 4th down. There's a dead ball down. They hit out of bounds, number 26, blue. That's a 15-yard penalty from the down spot. Taunting, number 22, black. 15-yard penalty would still be 4th down.
Okay, so that's 25 yards of penalties given up by UCD, minus out by 15. This is certainly a interesting march off because they have to march off both UCD penalties as both are enforced. And then they will march backward for the new spot of the ball, as it's a new set of downs coming here for Belfast. Although, granted, it's just a net gain of 10. Happy to see the Headleys are joining us. Apologies about being in the hospital. That's almost never a good sign. Although we hope we can bring you some joy and some happiness here on this Sunday. So a fresh set of downs setting up for the Knights. They'll overload the formation right side. UCD brings bodies into the box on the formation. Moores will take the shot from center. Pass coming, looking toward the right. Got him underneath, and he's out of bounds. Incomplete pass.
Okay.
No gain on the play, sets up second down. Knights have had to punt their previous two possessions. UCD scored on their first drive, got a 2-point conversion to go up by 8. An interception by Aaron Mooney on the last drive gifted the Knights good field position. Belfast are now spread out the formation a bit more. 2 wide receivers, 1 each side. 2 in the backfield with the quarterback. They hand it off up the middle, got some good blocking up ahead, and well done to wrestle into the ground. Third down coming, and the Knights need a few more yards to get there.
Different QB.
Zach McDowell, number 11. Looks like he's the one taking snaps now, it appears. As the call from the sideline for UCD is different QB. Belfast sets up on the left hash mark. Indeed, it is Zach McDowell taking the snap here. Heavy pressure along the line for UCD. They bring pressure. They can't penetrate the line. Passes on, rushes through, and incomplete. Fourth down coming, fourth and about 12. Knights are faced with an interesting decision here. No place kicker is listed for the Belfast Knights, as it looks to be that they're bringing on punt formation. So an interesting wrinkle to this Belfast Knights play, as Liam Moores, quarterback from London, started today's contest, but they just had Zach McDowell taking snaps. Belfast native, he played soccer when he was younger and is a graduate of the Knights youth program. And the Knights will call their second timeout to discuss what they're going to do. That's the second timeout for the Knights. They have 1 remaining. So now I get to talk a bit more about McDowell. Last year, he was Rookie of the Year for the Knights, and this is his second season. He is also a quarterback and wide receiver for the under-19 Irish national team. Marty Caskey left the game earlier. I have not seen him come back, but that might be because he hasn't been near the ball. So I don't want to speak too confidently and say that he hasn't come back at all. Merely that I have not seen him make a return to play. And it turns out the Knights are brought their offense back onto the field. They are going to go for it. And oh no! Would you look at this? They are lining up to kick a field goal. Now this is something that the UCD does not practice against because they don't have a place kicker on the team. Knights trying to get on the board here. Kick is up, and watching the signals, it is no good. So the Knights miss their chance to get 3 points on the board. And UCD will set up on offense, looking to add to their 8-0 lead that they got on their first drive. And Aaron Mooney looking to redeem himself after the interception ended the previous drive. We are getting late in the second quarter of action. Both teams are doing time-consuming drives here. We again thank everybody for joining us on this lovely Sunday. Wherever you've decided to make us your entertainment for today, thank you for being part of your Sunday. From the 31, UCD's offense goes back on the field. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left, 2 backfield, with Mooney in the shotgun formation. He takes the snap, gets the ball up the middle on a good run. Gain of about 5, sets up second down. That is number 15, Tom McKenniff. McKenniff also plays on the UCD flag football team, where he doubles as a receiver and a quarterback. He's set up a little bit more further away from Mooney this time. They'll hand it off to him, and McKenniff is unable to get around the pressure. Penetration up the line. Despite the blocking downfield, McKenniff cannot get there. It is a loss of yards and a third down coming. Looking to set up a long third down here, an obvious passing down. As UCD runs the ball twice, getting yards on the first one and losing yards on the second one. Now they return to their original line of scrimmage for this drive. Third drive of the game for UCD. One receiver to the right. Mooney's got the ball. Mooney takes a heavy hit up the middle, and it is intended for Donovan, incomplete. Isaac Searle was in coverage. First punt of the day being called for UCD in this 8-0 contest. Punter is Tom Donovan, the receiver who was targeted on the last play. Will Ehrlich is the long snapper. As the camera has decided not to focus on the ball here. And we are deep in Belfast's formation. As if almost by will, the camera has moved to the right to catch this punt. Snap is a bit high. Donovan has it, kicks it away. Coverage is well done downfield as it'll bounce and take a friendly UCD roll inside the 20. So UCD plays the field position game, and Belfast comes back onto the field, their fourth drive coming. Belfast began the game with the ball, receiving the first half kickoff, which means UCD will receive the ball next to start the second half. As I hear the whistle on the other field, that's a rugby whistle for a try. Belfast back on the field. And they got a bunch formation on the right side of, it looks like McDowell is going to be in at quarterback. Moores did come up a little gimpy on a previous play. And ball almost intercepted. Alex Merrick was right there. Kusmarek had a critical interception during the Shamrock Bowl last season, sealing the game for UCD in the late stages. So McDowell looks to be the one in the backfield now taking snaps. That's number 11 in black and yellow. And speaking of black and yellow, the UCD team had a visitor today who is in town to promote the Pittsburgh Steelers Dublin game coming up. Handoff here. McDowell swallowed at the line. He goes nowhere. Brandon Atwell on the rush. Third down coming here for the Knights. It is a low-scoring contest as the Knights back up to go into their huddle and discuss the next play. Third down and long here. You hear the coaching staff once again warning the defensive line not to jump offside. That's part of what prolonged Belfast's first and second drives, was UCD defensive penalties. Three men down for the rush for UCD. And false start here. The linebacker was coming in, and a offensive lineman jumped a bit early, and it gifts UCD 5 free yards. So the Knights starting quarterback, Liam Moores, is number 7. I have not seen him since the early stages of the third drive for the Belfast Knights. Not exactly sure what happened. I don't have communication from Belfast's sideline of whether somebody is coming out injured or whether someone's coming out for coach's decision. So I'm sorry, James, I am not sure of the answer to your question. McDowell in the backfield. Running back to his right, 2 receivers left. Foul, and it's a QB keeper. He has a long way to go, and he opts to slide after not gaining a whole lot. McDowell making a business decision to slide on that one, as Belfast's punt formation will come out for the 4th time today. And this time looks like they'll set up a punt for the 3rd time. A punt deep in Belfast's territory. Looks like they'll have to snap it from about the 10. As we're getting into the late stages here of this second quarter. Yeah, Moores did take an interesting hit at one point early in the game. You can probably go back in the stream and watch it. I think I commented that he came up kind of funny, if I remember my own commentary correctly. Belfast lines up to punt. This will be their 3rd punt today. Somebody moved on Belfast's line. It is not penalized. The punt comes all the way down and will roll out of bounds past the 40 of UCD and before the 35. Atwell was the one who let that one go out of bounds. As UCD's offense comes back out for the 4th time. First drive ended in points, and that's been the only drive to score so far today for either team. As Sebastian Meidel will put his hand back in the ball and send the ball backward to Aaron Mooney. UCD already 1-0 on this AFI season, defeating Dublin Rebels 40-0. As now the ball is finally snapped, Meidel has to reset his feet in order to get back into where he needs for this play. Mooney's got the ball. Mooney's rubbing back to throw. Throws over, and it's dropped, touched by 2 receivers before it eventually hit the ground. Wiley was deep in coverage alongside Isaac Cyril and Thomas Wilson. 2nd down coming for UCD. Halftime is coming up, so if you've got any longer form questions you want me to answer, we'll have plenty of time to answer them. 1 receiver out to the right, 2 receivers left, and it's a run play up the middle. UCD trying to get some yards here. Short gain sets up 3rd down.
Let's go, let's go!
UCD sets up 2 receivers each side. Looks like 4 down linemen with 2 linebackers. Maybe 1 linebacker here. It looks like dime coverage for the Knights. One receiver now to the right. Receiver went in motion. Mooney's got it. They'll try to throw for it. They got it in the open. Wiley slides. Does he make the grab? You bet he does. Stu Wiley on the grab sets up 1st down again. UCD doesn't like to huddle. They get their signals from the sideline instead of off the quarterbacks running a wristlet. 3 in the backfield. They send Wiley out more. And Mooney handles the snap. Blindside block, and it's a split sack. Calling on top of the ball is Connor Beckett, and they'll call it an incomplete pass. It looks like Mooney just got the tuck rule enforced on him. An incomplete pass, and UCD may have just caught a huge break. It was a clear recovery by the Knights, but they call it, I think they're calling that a tuck rule pass. Mooney's got it. He holds on, swing pass to Donovan, and Donovan can't hang on. Pass in his body. Cyril was in coverage. Donovan unable to bring it in. 3rd down coming. 3rd and 10. UCD trying to make their 2nd scoring play of the game. They got a long touchdown pass for their 1st one. 2 receivers each side, a running back to the left of the quarterback, Mooney. 4-down lineman. Here comes a 5th on the blitz. The ball is released all the way down and cannot get it. We got a penalty flag on the coverage, though. We'll see who this is against. Wilson and Stenson were going at it for the ball. There was arm contact on the play. Curious to see what the side judge has determined here, as it is a pass interference motion, but who is it against? If this is against UCD, Belfast has the chance to decline the penalty and force 4th down. If this is against Belfast, though, it is a 1st down with the penalty yardage. As UCD and Knights players are both trying to listen in on the discussion to see what the issue is. The flag came from well away from the play. Referees are still discussing what happened on that 3rd down play. UCD needed 3rd down and 10 to reset the downs here late in the 2nd quarter. They call it on the defense. It is Wilson on the pass interference play against Stenson, trying to hold up the receiver is the call. So UCD gets a penalty 1st down to keep this drive going. As Colin Malone is discussing something with the white hat official for today's game. So it's a 1st and 10 for UCD inside the 30. 2 receivers each side. They'll send Wiley in motion to the left. As he's running, the snap comes. Mooney lines up, has a man open, and it's almost intercepted again. Led his receiver too much, and nearly an interception from Chris Muir. Slid to try to make that catch, but could not haul it in. 2nd down and 10 coming for UCD. Mooney sets up again, 2 receivers each side. Interesting stack formation on the right side. Mooney receives, running back stays in for pass protection. Passes over the middle, looking for Douglas, he's got it, and it's open into the field. John Douglas inside the 5, sets up 1st and goal. Call is for UCD thinks they can get something with their short yardage play. As the camera has decided to focus on the rugby game on the opposite sideline. So in tractor formation, it's either typically Tom Donovan or Brandon Atwell to receive the snap, as it looks like number 2 Atwell is back there with the snap. Heavy body formation here for UCD. Atwell receives the snap. Atwell. UCD 14-0 is your score. UCD will now go for 2. The 2-point conversion, a innovation of the United States Football League in the 1980s for anyone who may have wanted a factoid this evening. Initially, it is a 1-point conversion. The 1-point conversion was reduced from 2, because in the original years of American football, it more resembled rugby with the scoring. As a flag comes in, somebody jumped. UCD's coaches are saying that UCD's coaches initially believed that the Knights jumped to cause the false start, but now they'll just send out the regular offense. As the 2-point conversion will now be 5 yards back from the original spotting of the 3. So from the 8, UCD will attempt to go up by 16 points, 2 full possessions.
Very last minute, like you turned around.
I've just been informed there are now 3 minutes and 10 seconds left in this second quarter. This is an untimed play. Mooney sets. Mooney fires, looking for the back pylon, and what's the signal? Incomplete. The conversion is no good. UCD leads 14-0. Glad you've joined us from wherever you are. My name is Max Wolpoff. Thank you for making us part of your Sunday afternoon, morning, or evening entertainment. UCD unable to get the conversion, so they remain up by 14 points. As the Belfast Knights will line up to receive this kick and attack the southeast end zone, heading towards County Wicklow. In case anybody wanted a geography lesson for Irish counties, there are 32 on the island, 6 of which are controlled by the United Kingdom in what is called Northern Ireland. Northern Ireland is where most of the players in today's game for the Knights are from. A lot of people from County Antrim, where Belfast is the major city. Will Lambert will step up once again. Lambert, if you are able to see, if the camera goes there, he wears 2 different style boots. He wears one as his regular work as a lineman is white. He also wears a blue soccer style boot that allows him to kick better. They call him Will the Drill for a reason. He can kick the ball quite a bit. As the camera is focusing on the rugby game on the other side. This one's a deep kick, coverage running toward, and nobody's quite gotten. I can't see who got the ball. I didn't even see who had the return, but the Knights are going to set up at around their 30. Good field position so far for the Knights. So now under 3 minutes to go here in this second half. Curious to see who comes out to take snaps. As McDowell is still in at quarterback. Two receivers to the left side. Running back in the backfield is near the line of scrimmage. Quarterback in the shotgun. One receiver right. Pass coming from McDowell. Could not contain him. He rolls out. Got a man open. It's a good hit. And he's got plenty of room for that first down. Darhy McShane. On the reception and run. Knights trail by 2 possessions, down 14. Back on UCD's half of the field from their 41. 2 receivers right with the back in formation and 1 to the left. McDowell stands 5 yards behind the line, and he takes the snap. Right loose. Quick formation, quick catch. And judging from the reaction of UCD's players, that was close to an interception. Sometimes the camera doesn't catch everything that happens, so I have to watch the reactions of everybody to see what's going on. 2nd and 10 coming here. Slow walk to the line for the Knights. Not a lot of urgency to get this ball snapped. 2 in the backfield, and they'll motion 1 out toward the tight end's position. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. More eye candy here for the Knights. They take the snap, and it's a dropped ball. As the handoff for McShane did not have a clean transfer. The Knights are moving backwards. And this is the 2-minute warning.
starting. And the second field here. 3 timeouts left. Down the street.
All right. 2-minute warning coming here. Special timing rules are in effect. If you're familiar with college football, the clock will stop following a first down and following running plays out of bounds. Snap from midfield at the 45. 2 receivers to the right. McDowell rolls that direction. Good penetration at the line, and it's a far pass incomplete. Fourth down coming. Fourth down and 14. An incomplete pass does not allow UCD to use one of their 3 timeouts. UCD will receive the second half kickoff. So curious decision here on this fourth down. What the Knights try to do. They are already down 2 possessions. And they will line up to punt. Last thing UCD wants to do here is gift any free yards. Kick is away. UCD will get the ball with 3 timeouts, as it is a lengthy kick, but a well-done curl out of bounds inside the 10. Sets up UCD who have to go the full length of the field. As there's a foul on the play. The snap came right around where the second layer of blockers were for the punter. There's been a lot of flags in this game for both teams. As yet another discussion has to come in of what is going to be done in this 14-0 game in the final 2 minutes of the second quarter. Officials are seeking clarification. Captains are now going to be talked to. So here's McDowell and Doyle, the on-field captains for UCD and Belfast. I'm trying to listen in just like the rest of you to hear what's going on, as we thank all of you who have joined us. UCD leads 14-0. Tom Donovan and Brandon Atwell have the 2 touchdowns for UCD. Donovan of the receiving and Atwell of the running variety.
Offense is up. Knights have elected to enforce from the previous spot. Half the distance to the goal, force down.
Interesting. A personal foul for lining up over the center. This is a relatively new rule in football. We are not allowed to line up over the long snapper, and some of that is a safety issue. So the Knights are enforcing the penalty half the distance to the goal, and their punt ultimately is for nothing. So that's considered half the distance to the goal. Oh, half the distance from UCD spot. Okay, my bad. I initially thought it was a penalty that was enforced from the previous play, not a penalty enforced from the new spot of the ball. That's my bad, everybody. So now it's worse field position. So now it's even worse field position for UCD. Mooney back in at quarterback as the picture goes fuzzy. 2 receivers each side. Will send the pass on and incomplete. Looking for Douglas. Well covered on the play. Aaron Black, number 23, gives a high five to, trying to see if that's 6 or 5. Mooney will again set up, this time with 3 receivers to his left and 1 to his right. Second down here in 10. Run is up the middle, looking to just gain some yards to get out of the shadow of the end zone. It is a short gain, timeout coming. UCD calling their first of 3 timeouts. They have 2 remaining. So here a long third down setup here. If my presumptions of the clock are correct, we are still above 1 minute to go here in the second quarter of a 14-0 game. Belfast opting for water by the sideline as UCD just taking a breather trying to manage this clock. UCD will receive the second half kickoff, meaning if UCD is able to get points on the board here, they have a chance to double dip on the other side of the halftime break. Mooney back in the backfield. Douglas, the lone receiver to the right. And it's a high snap. Mooney's got to field it. Mooney's got to get rid of this ball. He steps into the pressure, throwing long toward the sideline. Wiley, he has it! Was it a catch? It looks like it was a catch. Wiley stepped out of bounds before he could keep running. A great first down catch off a not so great snap. Mooney recovered, stepped in, threw it to Wiley. Snap off to his right. Mooney hit as he throws. Long ball. Wanted Wiley again. It falls harmlessly to the ground. And a flag coming. Flag came after the ball went down. As a player on UCD's offensive line goes down to the ground. So on that first down play, Mooney launched the ball long. He did get contacted as he was throwing the ball. Camera then moved, and I'm not 100% sure what happened after that. As the player for UCD is up and I believe coming off the field just based on the applause from the sideline.
Hey, 2 points, Charlie. 2 points. 2 points.
Let's see what the call is here. Still waiting on the call from the referees of whose penalty this is.
Great call.
That's William Boal, number 98, on the roughing the passer call. It gifts UCD yet another first down that they don't have to run a play for. As UCD trying to march down this field with a 2-minute drill offense to score, go up by 3 scores here in this game. Past midfield now. One of the consequences of not having a place kicker on your team is your scoring range is reduced to trying to get touchdowns and not field goals. Mooney sets the back to his right. 2 receivers each side. And moving along the line, they'll call it offside. Mooney's got a chance for a free play here. He's going to run for his life, heading toward the sideline. He gets out of bounds. UCD looks as though they're going to have yet another first down, as it was a free play with Belfast jumping offside. Happy to see you, Brooklyn. And for reference, everybody, that's one of my best friends from high school, Brooklyn, not Brooklyn, New York. Great to see you, and I'm sure you're enjoying your day. UCD up 2 scores on a touchdown pass to Tom Donovan and on a run by Brandon Atwell at short distance.
Offside for the defense. Holding for 62-2. Those penalties would offset replay the down.
So the down has to be replayed, but because UCD ran a lengthy running play, they don't get the time back. So that's part of the problem of offsetting penalties this late into the game. You don't get those seconds back that you spend running a lengthy play. So the offside call for the Knights doesn't end up costing the Knights anything. And if anything, it costs UCD valuable seconds. UCD is 2 for 4 on drives so far, ending in touchdown. Mooney in, takes the snap, rushes up the middle. Back stays in for protection. They throw the ball out, and it's an incomplete pass. Wanted Donovan. Under a minute to go now. Second down coming for UCD. They got this first down as a result of a roughing the passer penalty on the previous series. 4 down linemen with 1 linebacker. It's a light box and a false start. Charlie Connolly moved. Because the clock was stopped, there's no run off of the clock. UCD losing 5 valuable yards. 2nd and 15 coming here for UCD. Looks like 2 receivers each side. Snap comes, camera pans toward the receivers, and the pass is going to be thrown over, incomplete. 3rd down and long coming, wanting Tom Donovan, heading toward the post route. If anybody's got questions, now's about the time to get them in. We're approaching halftime. I'll be able to answer a lot more of your questions during the half than I will during the game. So I'll answer most reasonable questions. Mooney sets up 3 receivers to the right. Mooney now dropping back into coverage and looking for Douglas. Ball skipped into his grasp, incomplete. 4th down coming, and UCD will line up to punt. UCD failing to capitalize on the roughing the passer call, as Ehrlich comes back in for his long snapping duties. This will be UCD's 2nd punt of the day. Tom Donovan in the back to get it, and he gets the kick away. Sends it deep. It's a friendly UCD roll. Not sure what Jonathan Headley was doing running toward the bouncing ball at first. But he got away from it. No muff, no touch. Curious call here what Belfast does. They are down to 1 timeout left. As Belfast breaks their huddle, we'll see who comes out as quarterback. It is indeed number 11, Zach McDowell. who will just line up in victory formation for a kneel down. And that will do it for the first half of action. UCD will receive the ball first to start the second half, as it is now 14-0, UCD in the lead. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, it's great to have you all with us. I've just muted the audio from the field. If anybody has got questions they want to get to throughout the course of this halftime, I'm more than happy to answer reasonable questions. Also, if you are so inclined, we are a small club. We will accept any amount of money you're willing to give us. We thank you so much for supporting the club by watching this live stream today. This money goes toward the ambulances we have to pay for the games. Because the money will go toward buses, make sure we can get to our road games coming up. As UCD, this is their final home game for the month of March. It'll be a road test coming up for UCD when the students all come back from their March break. April 13th, on a Sunday, it will be a game in Cork against the Cork Admirals, followed by a matchup on Saturday the 19th against the University of Limerick Vikings. Those are our next two broadcasts. We look forward to welcoming you on those streams when we get there. I'm Max Wolpoff. If you've got any questions at all, we've got plenty of time now at halftime for me to answer them. We've already had somebody ask me my thoughts on Elimination Chamber. We've had people ask me how many Americans are on the squad. We've had people chime in with where they're watching from. Thank you so much to everybody who has tuned in. We are fortunate that you are part of today's game. All right. First question from Brooklyn. The rules do not mirror American football identically, in no small part because, well, let me go back to the field view for a second so I can show you. The UCD field is a 90-yard field, not 100s. That's one way in which this doesn't mirror American football that you and I might be used to coming from the United States. The midfield line, despite the marking that it's 50, is actually 45 yards. This is in part because we play at a rugby field, which is traditionally not as long as an American football field. So that's one major difference. Other than that, most of the rules mirror the NCAA. So 1 foot down for a completion, running clock until 2 minutes. Targeting is a call in this league. There is no video review because take a look, where would you see the cameras for video review? So the rules are not an identical mirror, in part because the league has to work with field limitations in fields that are not built for American football purpose fit. Hope that answers your question, Brooklyn. Got plenty of time to entertain all of you. Otherwise, I'm just going to tap dance and talk. UCD leads 14-0, scoring on 2 of their 5 offensive drives. The Belfast Knights, the closest they came was a lengthy field goal, which they missed. Long touchdown pass to Tom Donovan, and a touchdown run by Brandon Atwell. Do I have stats on the Knights offense? No, I don't. I had to leave the UCD Sports Center facility before I got to meet the coaches. I do not have anybody communicating with me for the stats for the Knights offense. However, I do have their drives 3 punts and a field goal miss, along with the kneel down to end the half. A lot of the stats in this league are kept by people on the sidelines. They are not put into a online database, as it were. So I'm sorry, Mr. McShane, I do not have stats on the Knights offense in that game. We visited from the Steelers, yes. So today, UCD was visited by Pat Freiermuth, the star tight end of the Pittsburgh Steelers, who recently signed a contract extension, making him a very wealthy man. He is in town visiting as part of the Steelers' promotional tours to promote their upcoming game in Dublin for next football season. He was at the Six Nations game yesterday between Ireland and France, which France won, much to the chagrin of many Irish people. And yeah, Brooklyn, wow, that's crazy. That was about my reaction when I was told in confidence who was going to be visiting. What do the players do when they're not playing or practicing? So a lot of the players on UCD, I can't speak for the Knights, I don't know, but a lot of the players on UCD have full-time jobs that they do outside of practice. It's actually interesting. This might blow the minds of several American watchers. The UCD team only practices for 2.5 hours a week. It is a 90-minute practice on Monday and a 60-minute practice on Wednesday. Past that, pretty much everybody has things to do. So there are people who are full-time students. There are people who have full-time jobs. There are a few exchange students from abroad who are studying here on a student visa. And it's an incredible environment to be around, because when we take this exact field for training days, for the most part, all of us are here for the thing we want to do. And a lot of us want to play or be part of American football while we're here in Ireland. I will say the Irish guys on the team, they are incredible leaders at making sure that everybody on the team feels like they're part of the team. And that goes straight to the coaching staffs as well. So what do people do? For the most part, what most normal humans do. Go to work and live life. And yes, Graham is correct. We do have to work around the university. Is UCD not only college players? Yes, UCD is not just people in school. There are, I think we're about 4 to 5 minutes into halftime break. So there are people on the UCD team who are alumni of the school. There are people on the UCD team who are connected through the coaching staffs. So no, you do not need to be an active student at the university in order to participate. I think Graham Jenkinson in the chat can probably speak better to that than I can, as we briefly lost the camera. But yes, U does stand for university, you're correct. The ages of the players, you're correct that some of the players are in their 30s. There are players who are, most of them are in their 20s. Marty Kasky, for example, on the Belfast Knights, he's an 11-year veteran. He is a 1986 date of birth. And OM, you're absolutely right. The UCD coaches are volunteers. Many of them are not celebrity coaches by any means, although Dara Farrell might have a claim to that. Dara was on the Pat McAfee show in the summer when the Pat McAfee show was in Dublin to promote the Aer Lingus college football game between between Florida State and Georgia Tech. Sorry, mixed up the schools on that one for some reason. So that was an incredible game, and Pat McAfee's show decamped here to Dublin, and Farrell was one of the guests, in part because UCD won the Shamrock Bowl in the summer leading into that game. So there was a lot of guests on to talk about American football in Ireland, including UCD's head coach. We're getting set to go. UCD will receive the third quarter kickoff to begin the half. It'll be the first time they've received a kick all day. Brandon Atwell and Sean Douglas will likely be the two back, as you see Joe Carroll getting warm. Carroll, one of the backup quarterbacks. You know, I didn't watch the segment in real time, but I probably should. I didn't watch the McAfee segment in real time, although I really should if I can find it somewhere on the internet. So UCD going back into their huddles. We're not far now from UCD getting back onto the field to try to extend this 14-0 lead. We've got a little bit more time for some more questions. Who are the players you should watch? All right, Brooklyn, asking the right questions as always. So, definitely watch number 6, Tom Donovan. He is one of 3 people in American Football Ireland history to ever win the MVP award of the Shamrock Bowl multiple times. He's won it twice, including last year. Donovan, number 6, he typically lines up as the H receiver, and Paddy Sweeney is on the defensive and offensive lines. Although he's starting on defense, he doesn't always play on the offense, but definitely a good baller. I like to keep an eye out for Lewis Stenson and Jefferson Freeman. Stenson is number 14, Freeman is number 13, both of them Washington State residents, and they are good young receivers for this UCD team. Freeman doesn't get targeted a whole lot, but he loves to block, and so does. And on defense, Larry Doyle, number 45, just a calming presence back there for the UCD team as far as making sure they know the right play call. He's not calm when he plays the game. He definitely plays the game with a good bit of tackling ability. Michael Harvey and Dan Verjou are also 2 players to watch in the secondary. 29 and 44 are their numbers. Yes, Brandon Atwell is an outstanding player. So those are the ones that I've taken to watching, aside from the quarterback, Aaron Mooney, who I have to watch every play because he's the one that receives the ball. Want to come play O-line? Brooklyn, we'd be happy to have you. So as Belfast and UCD get warmed up to get back into the game, UCD leads 14-0 on the strength of 1 touchdown pass from Aaron Mooney to Tom Donovan, and a touchdown run by Brandon Atwell in their short yardage situation down by the goal line, set up by a long completion to Sean Douglas. Is Fryermuth watching? I am unsure if Fryermuth is still on the field. So I call the games from I call the games from my apartment, which is about a 30-minute walk from where they played this game. And I am unsure if Pat is still there. He was there in pregame. He, I believe, took some pictures, talked to the guys for a bit. I salute you, Mr. Atwell. Thank you for tuning in and watching. We thank everybody for tuning in as part of your Sunday entertainment. My name is Max Wolpoff. I'm here at UCD, and I'm looking for a lot of opportunities here in Ireland and abroad to parlay this experience into working for a team. And I'm excited for the future of this season. I'm excited to see what UCD has in store. This is UCD's second game of the season. They are 1-0 following a 40-0 victory over Dublin Rebels in the first week of action last Saturday. As I'm getting word, UCD is heading back to the field. Does UCD have an offensive line have a nickname? If they do, I don't know it. I may have to ask about that, Sean R. What's the Gaelic word for hog? I have no idea. I look it up. I don't know how to pronounce this because Irish pronunciations are a little odd. The Irish word for a hog is muck, or M-U-C. Who are the good teams in the association? So this year, as I try to remind myself from memory who are the teams in the league. So Belfast has 2 teams, the Knights, who are here in black, the Trojans, who came and did a joint practice with UCD and looked pretty good in that. There is also the Cork Admirals, the University of Limerick Vikings. There is the Craigavon Cowboys. And I'm struggling from memory to remember who the other teams are. The South Dublin Panthers are the other, as I turn to my notes. So as far as the good teams in this league, there's a lot I don't know about both teams, as it looks like UCD is getting set to come back and restart action. I'll go back to the field operator here. So the Knights here on this field, they were definitely projected to be better than the previous week's competition, in part because of their good recruiting drive. Dublin Rebels are a constant presence. I think last week might have been an anomaly. And I guess we'll see when the Rebels play their next game on April 6th against the Panthers. Yeah, Graham probably has a better read on this than I do, because Graham is an experienced player who has done this before, and I am some schmuck who gets the roster notes day of. Atwell and Douglas are lined up deep to return for UCD. Let's see how this second half unfolds. Share the link, join the chat. Let's have some more fun from Dublin 4. Kickoff is on its way. Line drive kick. UCD turns around to block. Douglas has the ball. Douglas getting around his blockers. He's got good moves up ahead and gets to close to the 30-yard line, out to 29 off the return. Mooney will lead the offense back on. I love you too, Brooklyn. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining us on your Sunday morning in the U.S. UCD's offense will set up from the left side of the formation. Three receivers right-hand side for Mooney. Meidl's snap is a good one. Mooney's got it, and they'll run it up the middle with McKenniff. And McKenniff, with short gain, sets up second down. So today, if there are people watching from other AFI teams, and I assume there are, please bring a paper copy of the roster sheets for me for future games. I'll tell you why on this next play. Another handoff to McKenniff, who's able to get through the offensive line, breaking into the second level. Short gain sets up third down and short as a UCD blocker is down on the field and in some pain, needing help up. So typically, teams come in with a roster sheet to give to the referees of who's playing and who's eligible to play today. Hugh Wiley limping off of the field. So Wiley, a starting receiver. Curious to see what the call is now of who to send out. So I enjoy calling it off of paper formation because if anybody can see down below, I handwrite the roster in by position group with offense and defense separated. UCD loading up the backfield with two, both on the right side. Douglas goes back into his slot position. Fake the handoff. Mooney rolls out. Got a man open. It's Donovan. Donovan breaking free. Donovan getting away. Donovan getting out toward the red zone. He gets that set out. So, Mr. Freeman, I might travel for road games. There have been a lot of talks between myself and the club of whether I will have Wi-Fi and a room to set up in at facilities. That it may not be the case I travel for every road game, but if there's a room and if there's Wi-Fi, I'll be able to bring my computers and set up. Mooney sets up for the step. Mooney throws it over the middle, and it's tipped, almost intercepted. It's like 24. Jonathan Headley got a hand toward it, could not haul it in. 2nd and 10. So yes, that's been a point of conversation. And we will find out on April 13th, when we're next live on this channel, whether I am traveling with the team to Cork for that game. I would love to be able to travel with the team, in no small part because there are many traditions of traveling sports teams and their buses, and I would like to be part of it, if nothing else, just to be part of the team. 2 receivers left, 2 in the backfield, 1 to the right. Mooney's got the ball. Mooney looking left, pump fake, rolling out to the right, and he has to throw and get it away. And the pass is broken up, incomplete. Flag down in the backfield, looking like offensive hold. On this 2nd down play, I couldn't quite hear if they are marching off the yard. So they are. They're going to force UCD backwards. So it's going to be 2nd and 20. Got to get to the 20 for a first down. As UCD sets up to go from the 40-yard line on Belfast's half of the field. Henson and Douglas, 5 receivers. Mooney in the backfield has McKenniff in the backfield with him. McKenniff stays in the pass block. Mooney sets up, going out long. He's got a double coverage here, and it's tipped up and incomplete. Dangerous throw from Mooney. 2 receivers were in the area for Belfast. Neither could haul it down. Third down and 20, setting up here for UCD. Leading by 14 on the strength of 2 first-half touchdowns, 1 on their first drive and 1 on their 4th. Wiley fakes the motion out toward the left, runs back to the right. Mooney looks that direction, can't find a man. Rolling out left, Mooney up to take it, and he gets dropped, and there's a live ball fumble. Atwell recovered the fumble, tied on the blocking. Not sure what the move is here. As you might be able to hear, offensive coordinator Mark Lawless asking whether the play was offside. That was 3rd and 20. We've had a lot of these today, a lot of discussions among the officials. As now our referee is going to call over UCD's coaching staff to discuss what's going on here. As I believe that's a UCD try on the other field. Trying to listen in for what the referee's call is.
Sideline warrant to UCD. It's their first one. Carries no yardage. Fourth down.
Ooh. Belfast will take the penalty as UCD's sideline has been warned against going outside the sideline box. So for those new to American football, the lines at the bottom edge of your screen, the sideline players who are not actively playing are supposed to stay within a boxed area. Players are not supposed to go out onto the field unless they're going to play, and they're not supposed to venture toward, I believe, the 20-yard line as UCD lines up to punt. For the first time this half and the third time today. Donovan takes the snap. Kick comes away, and it will go out of bounds. Not a great kick. Defense going back on the field for UCD. So far, keeping the Knights out of the red zone. As Zach McDowell is back in at quarterback, number 11. He did not start the game at QB. That was number 7, Liam Moores. Something happened to Liam Moores on one of the plays. He came up holding his arm on one of the plays, but I'm not 100% sure what happened, so I won't speculate beyond that. As McDowell is the one in the backfield, 2 receivers to his left, 2 in the backfield joining him. Good point, Milk Tray. Can be for shouting at the refs. That's correct. McDowell lines up the pass. Pressure from the edges. Ball going out and over. And it looks like an interception for UCD. I didn't see who caught it. First play for the half, and the Knights turn it over. James, I'm glad for the insight, for the historical insight.
Defense on me! Defense on me! Defense on me!
UCD's offense returns back to the field after the short break following the interception. Camera did not catch it, so I'm looking with my UCD contact to see who caught that interception. 2 receivers each side for UCD with a setback to the left. Mooney takes the snap. McKenniff swings. McKenniff's got the pass, and he'll run toward that first down marker. Lowers his shoulder. It's Atwell getting out of bounds beyond the midfield line. Atwell already with 1 touchdown today on the run. Sets up a first down here with a hard running play. 87, Pat Duffy lining up at the wide receiver here on the near sideline. Mooney will set up in shotgun. Camera's moving toward the receivers. The ball is going to come, heading toward the right side, and flag on the run. I didn't see what happened, and neither did any of you, because I'm calling off the monitor. That was a first down play. If this is yet another penalty against UCD, it is going to likely push them backward. As I hope that whistle from the other field, is to end that rugby game, because now it means the only ball in movement is going to be the ball in front of us here on this American football lined field. It is a multi-purpose field. You may be able to see the blue lines for association football, as well as the harder white lines for rugby football. And it's 15 yards against the Knights. Yet another penalty first down. And UCD will have good field position to set up this next part of their attack. I appreciate the comments people are pouring in about my commentary. Sorry. It's so good to see you. Oh my goodness, I didn't realize that was you. Two join in the backfield with Mooney. One receiver far side, Douglas going in motion. They fake the jet sweep on two directions. Mooney lines it up, goes for it over the middle, and it's incomplete.
What down is it?
So I finally have the interception name. Dan Vershoe got the interception, number 44, a longtime veteran on this team, a Washington native. State, that is, not city. UCD up by 14 on the strength of a touchdown with a two-pointer and a touchdown without the conversion. Mooney lined up with Atwell in the backfield, two receivers to his right. They'll hand it off to Atwell. Incredible blocking. Atwell's got plenty of room. Atwell's got to get around two defenders, and he does! And Atwell on the touchdown for UCD. That's his sixth of the day.
Kickoff ready.
20-0, UCD on top, going for two. Curious to see if Atwell's got his breath out long running. Atwell is in the tractor formation. Sometimes it's the one who receives the ball in a wildcat snap. Three blockers behind the left side of the line. Atwell in the backfield to receive the pass. Got it. Gets around the defenders. Good blocking. He cannot get to the end zone. No conversion. It stays 20-0. We're thrilled you decided to join us. We have over 100 people in the chat today. Thank you for being part of our Sunday afternoon. UCD on top by 3 scores as the Knights return to the field looking to get something going on offense. As I apologize for confusing everybody, I forgot to change the bottom ticker to say it was the third quarter. My bad. We've been in the third quarter for a while now. Knights are back to receive their 4th kickoff of the day. Brandon Atwell with 2 scores on the day to lead UCD offensive players. Dan Vershoe has the interception for UCD. Set up that most recent drive. And the ball is muffed. It sounds like Belfast pulls it up, and they're unable to get to the 10. I have to send a special shout out to my kindergarten teacher, Erica White, who's joining us in the stream. You have no idea how happy I am that so many people from my life, old friends and new friends, are part of watching me do this and part of watching UCD American football today on a lovely Sunday. I hope your Sunday is going great. Great to hear from you again. As yet another penalty. You know, in the previous game, somebody left a comment saying that the referees are hitting their flag quota for the game. I'm starting to think there might actually be one because there have been a lot in today's game. And as usual, they tend to result in these long conversations between the officiating crews. The officiating crews do not have official-to-official microphones to talk to one another. So if you want to say something to a fellow official, you have to walk up to them and say it. So that's another thing that might slow down a lot of the process here. My goodness, Belfast shooting themselves in the foot again, holding on the blocking, and it'll be half the distance from the end of the run. And Belfast's field position is not going to be good. The Knights come out for their second possession of the half. First one ended in an interception. Second interception of the season for UCD. They also intercepted Rebels once in the Week 1 game. UCD's next broadcast will be April 13th against the Cork Admirals. First UCD road contest of the season. As McDowell comes back, started the game as a wide receiver, has come into the game as a backup QB. How long is gone? If I am to guess, about halfway through the third quarter. We're definitely past the halfway point. Rushing right into the teeth of the offensive line and getting beyond, going towards the 20. Flag on the tackle. This is going to tack on even more yards for the Knights. So the initial holding penalty ends up not doing anything of consequence for the Knights as they get the yards right back on the play, and they'll get a few extra free yards. As you hear the call for Alton Conroy to come back onto the field for UCD. Conroy is the only player on UCD to be from County Kilkenny. So free yards here for the Knights as they continue to march down the field, needing scores, getting late into this game in the third quarter.
Hey, let's go, D! Let's go, defense!
McDowell lines up again, two receivers to his right, a setback with one behind the right tackle and one receiver to the left. McDowell takes the snap, lines up, looking over the middle. He's got a man open, and it's caught. Three players converge on the stop. Doesn't get another catch from Isaac Searle. Dual threat player, plays defensive back and wide receiver, which is, unlike in the United States, not totally unusual here at this level where players play offense and defensive snaps. Searle has played admirably on defense. McDowell gives instructions for the Knights to line up for this first down play from midfield. UCD likes to stay in this four-down lineman situation with two linebackers and everybody else back in coverage. Pitches up the middle. They ran this play to great effect in the first quarter, and eventually Larry Doyle is the one on the stop as Spencer McDowell comes in to make the stop. Knights huddle up again. Second down coming as they get 6 on the play. They keep McDowell close. They show blitz. McDowell has it. Heavy man to bring down. It takes 3 UCD players to keep him up. And it'll be 3rd and 2. 3rd and 2 coming here for the Knights as they enter UCD's territory. UCD defense trying to keep the Knights off the scoreboard still in this 20-0 game. Knights on a slow march up the field. They are down 3 scores. McDowell stands and waits. 2 receivers to his left, 1 to the right. Linebacker blitz comes up the right side. Pass comes, pass is caught. Two defensive backs close in after the first down is achieved. Harry Watchorn on the coverage. And Knights keeping their slow offense running here, despite being down by 3 scores, have not left this pace. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left, 2 in the backfield. McDowell takes corner blitz off the left side. McDowell moves the other direction and passes over that head of the intended target, Raheem McShane. Fourth and 2. Knights down by 3 scores. Curious decision here for the Knights. What is the play call to get 2 yards? As we're heading late into the third quarter, we're in no position to see the Knights punt from this far into the offensive territory. McDowell with Zach McDowell with Spencer McDowell in the backfield. Linebackers show blitz. They'll come from the left side. They try to get through, and the knee went down a little early. Had to get to the big line in order to get there, and the spot looks like it's a yard short. 4th down coming. Short run from McDowell. As Zach and Spencer stay in the backfield. I don't know if they're brothers because neither of them put so in their bios. Linebackers come. Great penetration. McDowell running for it, trying to get more than the yards, and it is caught. No, it's caught. Incomplete. Father and son. How much time is left? I am not sure. Thank you for correcting me, everybody. Spent 4th quarter.
Hey, get him up! Get him up! That was the most usable offside.
For those curious how much time is left, the officials on the field keep the time. So I am uncertain of how much time is left because there isn't a scoreboard clock to look at or to sync to the feed. So I apologize for not knowing how much time is left. I do know the quarter lengths are 12 minutes, not 15. And the timing rules are similar to NCAA football. However, I am not certain how much time is left once the quarters begin, basically until the 2-minute warning. Guys got to really stop trying to confuse me. It is still the third quarter as the teams have not switched sides. Yeah, Sean, you're absolutely right. The camera work is absolutely improved given that the rugby match on the other field is now over. McDowell's in the backfield again. And unlike an Eddie Murphy movie, they're not running a fast food franchise. That's a great joke. Please clap. Zach takes the snap. Pressure coming off his left side, going long. Got a man open, got a man through, and it's a touchdown for the Knights. First score of the season against UCD comes in a late touchdown for the Belfast Knights.
Go!
Belfast trailing by 3 scores. Has now put 1 dent into that one. I'm glad somebody got my joke. And if you haven't seen the movie Coming to America, shame on you. It's an incredible movie. Very curious what the call is here, as Belfast does have a field goal unit, so they might go for 1, because if they get 3 scores with 1-point conversions and they hold UCD out of the end zone, they will win. They would win the game. Dahi McShane is the one lining up to take the kick, with Zach McDowell leaning for the hold. Snap comes in, hold is down, up, and it is good. So McShane puts the Knights on the field, and someone is down for Belfast, as it looks like they're calling in medical assistance. Atwell ran into the kicker on the block play. Yeah, I agree with you, Brooklyn. Mathematically, the Knights should have gone for 1 there. However, there are teams in this league that just go for 2 automatically instead of trying a 1-point kick. UCD being one of them. So one of the reasons I said that is I wasn't sure who was the kicker coming into today's game because nobody was listed as kicker on the roster sheet. So Dahi McShane is the kicker who is down, and that's medical personnel out there to tend to him. So we got time. Whoever has questions. As game is not over, we just had an injury timeout, and I stepped away for a moment to get some water. Dahi McShane, the kicker for Belfast, was down. You're watching University College Dublin against the Belfast Knights. University College Dublin, one of the larger total colleges in the entirety of Ireland. Over 37,000 students, with most of them coming from outside. Most of them coming from outside of Ireland, as far as tuition at least, because Irish tuition is subsidized by the state, but European Union and international students are not. It's a 330-acre campus, and this is on the western edge of campus, this field.
Yeah.
As we're now waiting on the penalty call to see what happens here, as Brandon Atwell on the block attempt ran into the kicker. Next game for UCD will be April 13th, away at the Cork Admirals. Who scored for the Knights? I didn't see a number, so I'm not totally sure. Part of the trouble of the way that we have to have the game called here is because when the camera feed goes a bit fuzzy, which happens frequently, I don't see the far side of the field as well. And this time I did not see who was on the far side of the field catching that pass. So a roughing the kicker, as definitely you went back into the stream and probably found it faster than I could. So that was Dahi McShane on the touchdown, before he then lined up to kick the extra point. Got the extra point through, and then was run into for the penalized kick by Brandon Atwell. Atwell's got 2 touchdowns on the day, both of the rushing variety. Yeah, sorry, Mr. McShane, I didn't have that information for you right away. Pete Masterson coming on for kickoff duties here. Masterson, known to the team as Pete the Heat. This is his 4th year playing wide receiver for UCD and 5 years of experience in the game. He is an alum of the social science program. Caught 5 passes for over 200 yards during the last year's Shamrock Bowl and 3 touchdowns. And here he's on kick return duty in the front line of blockers. As the kick goes too far, so UCD will get the ball back up 20-7. Now only up by 2 scores, trying to put the game out of reach as we enter the 4th quarter shortly. So unlike the first game between UCD and Dublin Rebels, Mooney is in for the second half, as the boys in sky blue are lining up from about the 11-yard line to start this drive. 3rd drive of the quarter. One receiver's on the right as Mooney takes the snap. It is a run play. And McAniff is able to get a couple of yards before coming down. Second down coming for UCD, leading by 13. UCD's play moves them to the right hash mark on the field. Donovan among those in the backfield. Two receivers left, one to the right. Here is Mooney looking to his left first. Going sideline, he's got a man open. It's Masterson. A masterful catch sets up first down. Wilson and Black on the coverage brings up first down. Fresh set of downs coming.
Moving down, defense. Keep moving down.
Mooney, three receivers right, one to the left, and it's a run play up the right side, and a nice stiff arm, gets him a first down and more. Down to the 40, getting to the 35, to the 30 and out of bounds. Two explosive plays in a row, and UCD is in business. Tom McKenniff on that last big run gives way to Alex Kusmarek coming in. Kusmarek, another one of those two-way players, typically lines up as the nickel back. Not the Canadian band, but the nickel back receiver. Now here is the running back. Two receivers left, one to the right. The handoff is to Kusmarek. Kusmarek, and he is up the middle. That's a short gain, so they bring up second down. As Alex Saeed McGuire is going to sub in on the guard position.
Yeah, Pete, stay there.
And finally, we hit the fourth and final quarter. A fresh 12 minutes will be on the clock. UCD leads by 13 points. 27 is the lead for UCD. Belfast Knights come into this game with a heavy roster of young players. The local recruiting drive with pretty much all of the team from the County Antrim area. Kusmarek stays in the backfield for this play. Two receivers left, two to the right. As Mooney stands in the shotgun waiting for the snap. Fourth quarter is finally ready to get underway. As I'm not 100% sure what the holdup is. Meidel and the offensive line seem ready to go. If that guy on the Belfast sideline could stop playing with the ball away from the play, that'd be great. All receivers motioning. Everybody's stacked to the left. Handoff up the middle, and good run from Kusmarek. First down here. Got the distance needed to bring up a fresh set. This next first down play, they'll change the strength side. Kusmarek will now line up on the right. Two receivers each side. Heavy blitz coming up the middle. Meidel absorbs enough of it to stop the play, and it gets a good play for a first down gain. And Sebastian Meidel got blown up in that rush, but he held up the rusher just long enough for Mooney to get the ball away. Second down coming. Running back on the left, two receivers each side. Mooney waits. Mooney over the middle, wanting someone in the end zone, and it is dropped. No interception. Could not control it all the way to the ground and complete the process of a catch. Brings up a third down here for UCD, as the offensive coaching staff can exhale once again. Both teams finished 2 drives in the third quarter. UCD started this drive in the back few minutes of the third. 2 receivers each side. Nobody in the box. Low snap. Running back picks up the blitz. Throw is to the side. Got a man open. Got a receiver. And it is a... UCD seems to think it's a touchdown. The referees agree. Touchdown, UCD.
Take the wristbands off. Take the wristbands off.
Tom Donovan with his second touchdown pass of the day. Now UCD will line up to go for 2. Assuming the camera moves, we'll eventually be able to see this. Mooney and timeout, Belfast. That's their second of the quarter. Not a great sign for Belfast when they've burned 2 timeouts already. The score is 26-7. UCD is lining up for their 2-point conversion play. As still lined up for 2. The camera is, judging by the reaction, I'm going to assume that's a UCD 2-point conversion.
Kick off! Kick off! Kick off!
As I get communication from my contact on UCD sideline, Stu Wiley got the 2-point conversion. As once again, UCD will line up for the kickoff, kicking toward the northwest end zone. (28-7) your score here, part of the way through the fourth quarter. UCD just finished the first drive of the quarter. From northwest to southeast, the kick will come. As Belfast lines up. Apologies for the language you may be able to hear from UCD's sideline. If you're unfamiliar with American English swearing, sorry, but it's very common in pro and college sports to hear that. Will Lambert back to kick. Kick is off and we're back underway. Rushing toward the right side. And the return comes back up the middle, getting beyond the 20, closing in on the 30. 3 receivers come through. There's some shoving. I did see one shove. Not sure if there's a flag on the play. Discipline for both teams has been an issue today. There have been a lot of these unnecessary penalties. As you see Evan Quigley walking the kicking tee off the field. So a new respot of the ball as UCD gives up yet more 3 yards for the Belfast Knights. Thank you to everybody who's joined us here on the UCD American Football live stream. My name is Max Wolpoff, and I'm thrilled you've made us part of your Sunday and have brought me into your homes or offices or cars. We had somebody chime in that she was listening in from her car. I'm not sure if that person is still in the car, but we thank you for joining us however you are, wherever you are. We've had several listeners chime in from Washington State, a few from California, one from the Canary Islands, one from the Cayman Islands, and I explicitly told that person to go to the beach because the Cayman Islands is a beautiful place to be. 2 in the backfield, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. McDowell receives the snap, hands it off, and run down in the backfield. Lance Balin could not get away. OM, thank you for listening. Because without you, without an audience for this, there is no reason for me to be here. So I'm grateful that there is interest. I'm grateful there is an audience. I'm grateful for everybody who's watching, even those supporting the Belfast Knights. You're part of our audience, and you're part of this team too today. Two in the backfield, they switch 2. One backer blitz up the middle, and Goggins Jr. got the pressure, and it's incomplete. Happy to see West Haven, Connecticut, and Brantford, Connecticut chiming in. I see the comment, what's the latest on the Steelers game this fall? I know about as much as you do, so nothing. I've heard plenty of rumors as to who the Steelers are going to play. I've heard a lot of different ideas of when the game is going to be. Shoulder shrug, man. I have no idea. We did not get any extra insight into that. McDowell again retrieves a snap, pressure coming, throws it over the middle, looking for another interception, can't bring it down. And it sounds like there's another penalty post-play. McDowell threw the ball deep downfield to get away, and pressure, nearly an interception for Kusmarek and the defense again. However, we wait on the penalty. I did not see the contact. I did not see what happened. But the penalty is in the neighborhood of either holding or roughing the passer, which would be par for the course for this game, no matter which is the call. With UCD's defense moving, it looks like it's going to be a roughing the passer call. So yet another roughing the passer penalty gifts a free first down. This time, it's against UCD. McDowell stands in. He's got 2 receivers each side. Quick rush coming through over the middle. Pass that was broken up, incomplete. Second down and 10 from inside UCD territory. The Knights down by 3 scores, and they are still huddling up for the play calls. A lot of walking to the line for Belfast. UCD shifts their players into the gaps that they want. McDowell's got 2 in the backfield, 2 to his right, 1 to the left. Takes a snap right at chest level, rolling out left, rolling away. Ball comes through, incomplete, looking for Templeton. Could not get the ball to him, sets up 3rd and 10. Yet another slow walk up to the line for the Belfast Knights. A lot of chances for UCD to get substitutions in with the Knights down by 3 scores. McDowell takes. Rush comes through, over the middle. Ball comes out to the right side. Oh, intercepted again. 4th down, and the Knights are running out of time and options. Coming onto the field is Craig Carville, one of 2 players that UCD has from County Armagh in Northern Ireland. So Belfast will go for it here. Not a whole lot of other choices. You could punt, but that'd be conceding the game. McDowell stands with the running back to his right. Linebacker blitz off the edge. McDowell throws. McDowell looking for the receiver. Got the man open. Tackled before the goal line. What a catch and run by Isaac Searle. Searle got beyond his coverage, got down toward the goal line. 1st and goal, Belfast. As UCD trying to stack the goal line here. And Belfast, once again, showing limited urgency to get lined up for the play. I understand not every team is equipped to go hurry up, but when you're down 3 scores in the 4th quarter, now might be the time to go faster. McDowell in motion. McDowell runs and takes the snap. Spencer McDowell's got it, and the goal line stand works. The defense keeps him out. 2nd down. Zach McDowell runs to the sideline to get the play call. The camera keeps moving away because it is an automated camera. It is artificial intelligence. So it doesn't track the play. It doesn't track as a human operator might. It tracks movement. Typically, these sorts of cameras are used for association with the play. So that's why the camera keeps moving away. 2 receivers to the right. Set back. And a receiver on the left. McDowell takes. McDowell fakes the handoff. Rolls. Throws. Over the middle. And it's incomplete. 3rd down coming. I hear you, Uncle Mike. The artificial intelligence camera is a little short on intelligence. At least as far as game intelligence. It's doing what it's programmed to do. It's just not doing what I want it to do. Much like other pieces of technology. Sorry, there's a great podcast I listen to that every single time they line up in a VIP episode, without fail, there's an AI story. And this week's one was disturbing, but it was very funny. McDowell taking the snap with 2 receivers to his right and a running back. 1 on the left, rolling right, throwing across, got a man, got a touchdown. And the Knights are back on the board.
Thank you, Craig.
Lost the camera momentarily as I'm trying to upgrade the score graphic. 14-13 is the 28-13 is the score. A well-designed play got the coverage to move back, and the receiver underneath caught the touchdown pass. And the Knights will once again send out McShane for the extra point attempt. We'll see if UCD is able to hold up. And the bungled snap. Holder had to dive on it to prevent UCD from recovering the ball. 28-13 is the score. UCD in the lead. My update from UCD sideline is there are 6.5 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. 28-13 is the score. Atwell and Douglas back to receive the kick. I'm curious what the procedure is here for the Knights. Down 2 scores. Does Belfast potentially take a risk and try an onside kick? UCD is playing back.
It doesn't matter. Just get on the ball. It doesn't matter if he doesn't kick a 10. He rolls it off the ground. Just get on it.
UCD is playing back just in case they go for a long kick. I can't see where the kick is coming from. And it will be kicked deep. Douglas on the reception. He's got blockers up the middle, and he's got a long lane. He's got a great return, getting it to about 40. Sean Douglas had plenty of room up the middle, and UCD sets up their second drive of the quarter in great position. UCD's offense will set up from the left hash mark at the 38. And with a 2-score lead and under 7 to go, they have put Tyg O'Connor, backup quarterback, in, number 9 for UCD. Tyg hands it off, and that's Cooper McQueen on the run. O'Connor from County Cork. He is a engineering stage 1 student and undergraduate at UCD. Captain of the Irish Junior Wolfhounds, the name of the national team. Just gave the handoff for a 7-yard gain. Chance for some playing time here for O'Connor. He got time against the Dublin Rebels. Both of his drives ended up in punts. As Mooney's day looks like it is done after leading the offense to 4 touchdowns with 1 interception. 2 touchdowns were of the passing variety as O'Connor rolls. O'Connor waiting, trying to get back, and he gets toward the sideline. He gets a hit toward the sideline, and it's not deemed late as he was inside the field of play when it came. Ryan Stewart, number 9, pushed him out. 3rd down and about 6. Two receivers to the right. Tight end set on the left with the receiver out up. McQueen shifting to the right, then the left, then the right again. O'Connor takes the shotgun, fakes the handoff to McQueen. McQueen rolling out for a run. Pass caught by Stenson. Stenson's over and past the first down line. And Lewis is ahead to keep the drive going. As UCD has an injured player on the field. So play will stop. 10 to him. So UCD, after the catch and run from Lewis Stenson, sets up another drive. First down from the Belfast 39. O'Connor waits for the rush. Rush is heavy. Rush is coming from the blind side. He'll go for Freeman. What a spin and what a grab! Jefferson Freeman just made the catch of the day. Incredible athleticism. 2 receivers left, one to the right with a tight end set. Tight end's got it on a design play. And flag comes in the backfield. And UCD down on the play with a flag in the backfield. Not totally sure what this is. Roughing the passer again. And because that's a personal foul, they can tack on the yards at the end of the play. So UCD's play got them into 1st and goal, and they'll set up half the distance from there. O'Connor has receivers on his right with one toward the left. And a whistle before the snap. Not sure what this one's for. Not 100% sure what the play stoppage was for, but 1st and goal for UCD if the camera would ever cooperate and show us. And judging by the reaction, it's a touchdown.
Hey, kickoff ready. Kickoff ready.
I'm asking my contact on UCD sideline who got the points, because I didn't see any of that. And similar here, as UCD lining up to go for 2. O'Connor lines up. O'Connor looking left. O'Connor scored the back pylon. Got it. Touchdown +2 for UCD. And it's 36-13. I'm trying to get word from the sideline of who caught that last touchdown pass.
Go, kick off, we ain't done.
Pat Duffy on the touchdown grab, and Lewis Stenson on the 2-point grab.
MVP.
36-13, UCD on top of the Belfast Knights. Kickoff coming here for UCD as they're pulling away here in the 4th quarter.
he bailed out right, and all I seen was Robbie Alexander.
Belfast threatened here in the third quarter, keeping the game within 2 possessions. But a long drive on Tag O'Connor squelched any momentum Belfast may have built up. We again thank everybody for being part of today's Sunday stream. Yes, TD for Pat Duffy. It was a great drive. Definitely took a lot of time off, but had to hit some explosive plays to keep it going. Especially that star-making catch from Jefferson Freeman. As it looks like a penalty was called on the 2-point play. So UCD is going to kick off from deeper in their own territory. That's the only reason I can assume that this happened. I didn't see a flag. I didn't hear official make a penalty call. So instead, Belfast just lines up a little bit up ahead. Connor, that was his first touchdown pass of the season. Will Lambert swings the leg, and we're back underway. UCD's coverage team converging on the middle of the field, and I have to assume they eventually got the returner. UCD back up 3 scores. As now it's time for UCD's reserves to come on, get some playing time. Some members of the starting roster are still out there. Dan Verjou among them, Leo Downs out there on coverage on the near side. McDowell takes the snap, run up the middle, and this one's going to go for some good yardage here. Balin on the run, got great yards, and will set up second down. And looks like another penalty has been called. Let's see what this second down play brings. 2 receivers stacked on the left side. McDowell takes, rolls right. McDowell stops, rolls back left. And there is another penalty, I believe, on the play. Face mask is the call, and you can hear UCD's sideline react. They definitely don't agree with that call. I didn't see it. The camera wasn't on it. I'm going to have to reserve judgment. That's 15 free yards for Belfast from the previous spot, and it gets them beyond midfield for a fresh set of downs. (36-13) the score, as there is somebody just playing with the ball outside of the field of play, and that is taking the camera away from the action. Anybody who thinks artificial intelligence will replace all of humanity, there are certain things it just can't do right. McDowell stands, waits, receives, standing in the pocket, looking for the ball into double coverage, and players run into each other. Cyril, the intended target, passes incomplete, second down coming. Several new players coming in on the defensive line, including Sam Malone, number 60. As Sam has to step around the ball instead of stepping on the ball as he gets back into line. Two receivers to the left, two in the backfield, one to the right. McDowell stands, waits, and receives the snap. Quick pass to the right, looking for the slant. Almost intercepted. Belfast setting up for the third down here as we thank all of you who've joined us. Thank you to everybody who's still with us. My name is Max Wolpoff, and I'm honored to have brought you UCD American football here from Dublin 4. This is UCD's final home game for the month. They will not feature a home matchup in the entire month of April, but they will play 2 games in the span of 7 days against Cork and the University of Limerick. Closing in on 2 minutes to go here in this fourth quarter. McDowell rolling right. Got plenty of room if he wants to run. Instead goes, throws for it all, and it is caught. Belfast re-enters the red zone on a great catch and run. That was 33, Zach Templeton on the long catch. Belfast is again choosing to huddle up instead of going quickly. And that huddle cost them a play before the 2-minute warning. I am not sure what Belfast is comfortable doing with speed, but they've lost several plays. Wait a second, what? Miles Garrett is staying? Run up the middle, and this one will get inside the 5, it looks like, as apparently Miles Garrett has decided to stay in the Cleveland after requesting a trade. Who's the source on this? Oh, it's Schefter, so yeah, it's definitely true. Wow. Miles Garrett is going to stay in Cleveland after all of that. Highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. Sorry, I just saw that news alert. I couldn't believe my eyes. I thought that ship had sailed. McDowell stands in. He's got 2 in the backfield and 3 receivers going over, and it's broken up. Incomplete, sets up 2nd and goal. Oscar Egan on the breakup. Zach McDowell has done an admirable job leading this Knights team after starting quarterback Liam Moores came out with an unknown reason. 2 setbacks. McDowell takes on the snap. Fakes the handoff, pitched it up the middle, and inside the 5, Belfast goes. Still cannot get through to the first down. I believe the referee is making another penalty call, so what else is new? McDowell is heading toward the sideline, trying to get a play call. Are they just going to allow Belfast to call a timeout here? All right, I'm confused. I'm not sure what's going on. Yes, indeed, timeouts. That's the last timeout of the game for Belfast. They are now out. UCD with another great offensive day. 5 touchdown drives out of 9 so far for the offense. 1 interception for Aaron Mooney, but past that, he had a great day on offense again. Tyg O'Connor led the most recent offensive scoring drive. And Belfast, if I'm to give a note to Belfast for their future games, start learning how to run a hurry-up offense. This is, I don't know how much time Belfast has lost by virtue of not going faster to the line of scrimmage or having the play call in quicker, but it's a lot. And when you're down by 3 possessions for most of the game, those seconds add up. About a minute left to go following the timeout by Belfast. Belfast trailing by 3 scores, so it would take... Yeah, I do have to remember that Belfast is dealing with a backup quarterback who, despite having played the position, may not be totally comfortable with everything in the playbook. So there are a lot of factors at play here, but definitely something to work on for the Knights leading into the rest of this season. McDowell takes the snap, looking to his left first, rushes on heavy pressure, and he goes down. Sean O'Brien among those in on the stop as that 3rd down sack punches Belfast outside the 10. Major sack puts Belfast at a huge disadvantage here, trying to cut into this lead. Puts them in obvious passing down as well. 2 receivers left, 2 in the backfield, 1 to the right. McDowell takes, McDowell rolls left, McDowell throws toward the end zone, and it's caught, touchdown. They found the receiver on the far left of the formation, and Belfast gets their 3rd scoring drive. (36-19). The score, as a player for Belfast has just collapsed in the huddle. Not 100% sure why he went down to the ground, but this does not look good. I am unsure what happened. The player was standing up seemingly fine, at least from this distance. And now somebody is down on the ground and unable to get up on his own, as it looked like McShane, number 22. And that's not a good sign for the Knights, because McShane is their normal kicker who's lined up in the last few plays. So now Belfast, because he went down, he's got to come out for a play. Belfast does not have any timeouts to take to get him back on the field. So the Knights will... Let's see what they do here. And it's McDowell who's going to line up to kick. So Zach McDowell, looking more like Curly Lambeau, snap comes. Hold is decent enough. And McDowell gets the PAT.
Let's go, keep the turn. Still playing. Still playing.
Go, guys. Got a game here.
16 points is the lead for UCD. As perhaps we get a chance to see UCD's onside kick formation. Yeah, it didn't look like there was any sort of a contact injury of any sort, so I don't want to speculate beyond just what I watched. Still not great when a player just goes down seemingly without any reason. But again, I'm here, they are there. I can't see everything. Regular old Curly Lambeau, quarterback and place kicker Zach McDowell. As the camera is far away from the frontline receivers for this kickoff from UCD. It is a 2-score deficit for the Knights as they line up and just kick it deep. Douglas fields it. Douglas waiting for his blocks to develop, and he gets a good run. Great run beyond the 35. And I believe that is full time. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, Belfast. 36-20 is your final score from UCD Astro Field.
Line it up.
So UCD comes away 2-0 following their first 2 games of the season. Aaron Mooney with 2 touchdown passes, both to Tom Donovan, and Pat Duffy with a pass reception from Tyg O'Connor, who came in the 4th quarter. UCD with the victory will be live next on April 13th against the Cork Admirals, coming to you from Cork. We thank you so much for joining us. On behalf of everybody at UCD American Football Club, my name is Max Wolpoff. Thank you very much for watching, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
We should have like weekly gladiator. From the side. No, you behave. We got too many.
You can't even line up right. I tell you how fucking bad day is.